Welcome back to Marrakesh. In part 2 of this journey, we're trading the Medina maze for mountain air, ancient ruins and you guessed it, more Souk adventures.
This video is all about contrasts, snow-capped peaks, forgotten palaces and diving deep into the art of Moroccan bargaining. It's packed with culture, colour and a few surprises we definitely weren't expecting.
And if you're loving this series so far, go ahead and subscribe because there's more magic coming.
Keep watching till the end for our must-know tips before you visit Marrakesh. When booking our trip to Marrakesh, we knew that we wanted to spend some time getting out of the city centre to explore some of the surrounding area. We'd highly recommend a trip to the Atlas Mountains for the stunning scenery and Berber villages.
Most tours typically include a visit to the Arganol Cooperative, a hike in the mountains and a home-cooked traditional Moroccan lunch.
A couple of tips if you're thinking about doing a day trip into the Atlas Mountains. The first thing we'd recommend is to definitely shop around when you're looking to book a trip. There are a variety of different tours with different agendas and different group sizes available, so just make sure you know exactly what it is that you're booking to enjoy the day at its best.
Make sure to dress appropriately, as the mountains tend to be cooler than the city, and wear good walking shoes as the paths can be a bit primitive. We'd also recommend, if you struggle with motion sickness, to follow your usual precautions as the roads can be windy and steep.
Finally, make sure to be carrying a camera because the scenery is beautiful, and while you're at it, make sure to have plenty of great conversations with your local guide and hear some of the fascinating stories of the Berber people.
Make sure to check out our full video covering this tour for additional details.
Having finished in the mountains, we headed back into the city of Marrakesh and arrived back at about 4 p.m, so plenty of time still to explore. The main square, Jamar al-Fanar, can get really busy in the afternoons and become a real assault on the senses. If you don't want to get caught up in the madness, we'd recommend walking on the outside of the square, but also to keep your sunglasses on, as this will help avoid eye contact and any additional engagement from the sellers.
Dressing modestly as per local custom will also help you avoid any additional attention. Once we were all souped out, we headed for some fresh Moroccan pastries at Patisserie des Princes for back at the Riad. They opened in 1989 and have multiple varieties on offer. The price is worked out by weight and you can choose which ones you like. After breakfast at the Riad, we had a relaxed morning and headed to the Badi Palace.
This is about a 10-minute walk from Jamar al-Fanar Square, just next to the Tinsmith Square. Construction started in 1578 as part of the Saadian dynasty and it is absolutely phenomenal to check out. This is the middle of the day and as you can see this is typically as busy as it gets. Perfect way to escape the souks and the madness.
It cost 100 dirham per person, which is roughly £8. The palace is a labyrinth of tunnels and exhibitions accompanied with a large open-air courtyard in the middle.
Whilst not as ornate and as restored as the Bahia Palace, the Badi Palace is a great example of the grandeur of the Saadian dynasty and a brilliant place to escape the crowds if you're looking for something a little bit different to the Medina.
The tunnels are much cooler in the midday sun and there are plenty of original mosaic floors still intact to be seen.
The use of mosaics was a common decorative element in Moroccan architecture, showcasing the artistry of the time and were a blend of Islamic and European influences.
To think they were all perfectly uniformed but created by hand is incredibly fascinating. It's well worth a trip if you have the time.
Whilst in the area, be sure to also check out Mela, the Jewish quarter. It's a great alternative to the main Souk Semarine, being much quieter but giving you the option to pick up your souvenirs, your spices, your teapots and a rug if you want one.
Once we had some lunch to try some more of the local cuisine, something we'd highly recommend, we headed back to the maze of Souks.
This time, completely unaided by a local guide, we decided to try and retrace our steps and see if we could pick up some souvenirs whilst practicing the art of haggling as well.
If you want tips on how to navigate the souks, be sure to check out our Souk survival guide in the top right corner.
What was previously a daunting and overwhelming experience was much easier having learnt from a local how to navigate the souks, feeling less like Alice down a rabbit hole and more like a local.
Here's a few tips for your trip to Marrakesh.
Be mindful of your belongings and where you put your feet in the souks, as the pathways are often narrow and plenty of things in the way. Speaking of feet, make sure to wear some comfy shoes as everything's within walking distance.
There is a Carrefour supermarket within a 10-minute walk from Jamar al-Fanar. It's only 2 streets to follow and super easy, but a great place to stock up on drinks and snacks.
When crossing the road, put your hand up to signal to drivers and walk with confidence. Trust me, they do stop.
Marrakesh is quite conservative and not everyone is happy to be on camera. Locals may ask you to stop. If so, put the camera down for a minute or two to respect their wishes.
Finally, immerse yourself in Marrakesh. The food, the history, the culture, the local way of life, it's an incredible experience.
The city provides a bit of something for everyone and is guaranteed to be an experience like no other. Perfect for a long weekend escape, exploring, or just relaxing on a rooftop with a drink in the sun.
And that's a wrap on our 4 days in Marrakesh. Spices, souks, sunsets, and a bit of chaos we'll never forget. If you love travel that's a little wild, a little offbeat, and full of stories, we've got so much more coming. Hit subscribe, join the adventure, and let's keep exploring the world one trip at a time.